The sky was a hollow void, no stars, no moon, just an endless abyss. The air stank of decay, thick with something rotten and rancid. The world itself felt wrong. 4 friends stood at the mouth of the cursed forest. The trees weren't just dead, they moved. Their bark twitched, like something was crawling beneath the surface. Face like knots twisted in agony, mouthing the silent screams of the damned. A rotting sign, splintered and cracked, bore jagged, blood-stained letters. Enter and be erased. Leave and be hunted.
We shouldn't be here.
Come on, it's just a story. A dumb legend.
5 minutes in, 5 minutes out. No big deal. We have already been swallowed.
Then the wind died, the air froze, and behind them the path was gone. The forest had already decided. They belonged to it now. Their breaths came in panicked gasps. The trees whispered in voices they didn't recognize. The shadows moved, slithering like living veins beneath the ground. The air felt thick, like lungs struggling to breathe. Then a sound, not footsteps, not an animal. Breathing, wet, hungry, too close.
Something's watching us.
The darkness peeled open like rotting flesh. 2 massive, glistening red eyes blinked into existence, gleaming like fresh wounds that would never heal. A mouth unhinged, stretching into jagged, inhuman angles, filled with writhing tongues.
It's just a trick. Just a...
Freddy vanished. No scream, no struggle, just gone. Then, from the trees, a voice. It was Freddy's, but wrong, twisted, warped, gurgling.
He is with us now.
Danny turned, his stomach lurched. Freddy was there, but his fur sagged in loose, rotting strips. His eyes were black pits, and his mouth stretched in a sick, broken grin.
Come with me!
Danny ran. He ran even when Freddy's laughter turned to screams, even when wet, tearing noises echoed behind him, even when something bigger and hungrier started following. Danny and the others ran, but the forest never let them go. Shadows slithered across the ground, reaching for their ankles like starving hands. The air pressed too close, like invisible fingers clawing at their throats. Then an opening, a way out.
I see it. The exit. I can make it.
Rabbi Rachel lunged for him, eyes wide in horror.
Charlie, no, it is not real.
But Charlie was too fast, too reckless. He bolted. The exit was right there. And then the ground liquefied.
No, help me.
His legs sank into the soil, not soil, but mouths. The ground writhed with faces, hundreds of them screaming, laughing, crying. Their teeth bit deep into his flesh. Rabbi Rachel grabbed his paw, but something grabbed back. Too many hands. Hands with too many fingers. Hands with teeth in the palms, whispering his name. Charlie's screams turned wet. His body convulsed, jerking as his flesh was torn open from the inside. Then, suddenly his body snapped in half, pulled apart. The ground swallowed the pieces. His screams never stopped, even after he was gone. Danny sobbed, gripping Rabbi Rachel's sleeve. They were alone now. Just them and it. Then a house, crooked, bleeding, watching. A single candle flickered inside.
A house! We can! No, it's waiting for us!
But Danny had no choice. He ran inside. The door slammed shut. The walls pulsed. The floor shifted beneath his feet, like breathing meat. The house was alive and starving, In the center, a table, 4 plates, 4 seats. 3 were already filled with corpses: Freddy, Charlie, and someone else. The 3rd corpse twitched.
Danny, that is me.
The corpse grinned, its skin sloughed off in wet, rotting chunks.
You should not have come here.
Then the real Rachel screamed. The walls collapsed. The shadows devoured her. And Danny? He was alone. Danny stumbled out of the house. The trees stood silent, watching, grinning. Then the path opened. A way home. A whisper, soft as silk, cold as the grave.
Are you sure?
Danny turned. His blood froze. His friends were standing there, smiling, waiting. And in their glassy eyes, he saw his own reflection. Still inside the forest, still screaming. The trees reached for him. The sky grinned. The world swallowed him whole. And he became part of it. Waiting, whispering, hunting, forever. A hollowed-out tree filled with dust, old scrolls, and blue mushrooms that flicker like dying candles.
Look at this map. It leads to Midnight Hollow.
No one has ever come back from there.
Because they didn't leave fast enough.
A sudden whisper slithers through the air. Come, find me. The map rips itself from Leo's paws and vanishes into the trees. The entrance behind them slams shut.
The forest has chosen, and it does not change its mind.
A winding, foggy path that shifts when they're not looking.
The way back is gone.
We're being followed.
Something's watching us! A sudden snap. Mia's foot sinks into the ground. She screams.
The earth is pulling me under.
The others lunge forward too late. Mia is yanked into darkness. Her scream cuts off too fast.
Mia?
A long silence. Then Mia's voice drifts from the shadows. But it's wrong.
I'm still here, but not for long.
A massive underground temple. A colossal stone door stands before them, covered in moving carvings of screaming animals.
We have to find Mia before she's gone for good.
Leo, they're watching us! The carvings' eyes glow, their mouths open, chanting, overlapping, whispering. Carvings, speak the name of the lost one, or be claimed. The air thickens, the ground trembles, the darkness crawls closer.
Elder Thorn.
The door shudders violently, a deep boom, then 2 massive red eyes snap open. Something wakes up. A clawed hand bursts through the door. A cavern lined with thousands of bones. At its center, a floating, pulsating gemstone black as night, beating like a heart.
This is it.
No, something's wrong! A figure emerges from the shadows, Mia, but her eyes are pitch black.
The hollow doesn't let its guests sleep.
Her shadow stretches unnaturally. Then her mouth opens, but someone else's voice speaks.
The one who takes the stone must stay.
The walls shudder. The bones move. Something ancient stirs.
Then I'll be the one to break the curse.
He grabs the gemstone. A screeching howl erupts. The cavern explodes. The shadow beast lunges. The cavern is collapsing. The shadow beast looms over them, its eyes glowing like fire.
We have to destroy it.
There's only one way.
Max notices an inscription written in blood. Only the worthy may leave. The thief must remain. Leo looks at his paw. His fur turns black. The veins of shadow crawl up his arms. He knows what he must do. The cavern splits open. The shadow beast grins.
Run!
He slams the gemstone back onto the pedestal. The entire hollow screams. The shadow beast is ripped apart. The cavern erupts in light. Everything vanishes. The forest, the hollow is gone. The map crumbles into dust.
Leo?
He's gone! A long silence. Then Max notices something. Mia's paw is turning black. The veins of shadow crawl up her arm.
The past does not forget, and neither does he.
Mia gasps. Behind her, the trees whisper. A shadow moves. A voice slithers into the air.
I'm still here.